Welcome to Terrifying Tales, where we delve into the darkest corners of reality. Prepare for a chilling ride into the realm of the unthinkable. Brace for a fact. Every minute, a murder occurs worldwide. Are you ready? Did you know that every 60 seconds, a murder occurs somewhere in the world? A chilling statistic, isn't it? Let's take a moment to ponder the magnitude of this unsettling reality. These horrifying events occurring with unfathomable regularity cast a grim shadow over our societies. They leave psychological scars that run deep, affecting not just the immediate victims, but entire communities. Murder, the ultimate violation of life, is an all too frequent tragedy. Now let's delve into 3 real-life killing events that will send chills down your spine. In the fateful year of 1980, on what seemed to be an ordinary day, our first chilling tale unfolds. The sun, an indifferent observer, bestowed cold, elongated shadows onto the ground beneath. The world was engaged in its usual humdrum of life, utterly oblivious to the impending terror. Lost in the multitude was an inconspicuous individual, just another insignificant entity in the torrent of humanity. However, beneath his commonplace exterior, a malevolent force was simmering, a clandestine evil veiled by his beguiling facade. He was no ordinary man. He held a secret, a wicked agenda artfully camouflaged by his congenial presence. His warm, disarming grin hid a spine-chilling reality. His seemingly harmless eyes were deceptive, concealing the terrifying truth of his malicious intentions. He was a stealthy predator, a wolf cloaked in sheepskin, skulking amidst the innocent lives. A fortuitous encounter occurred, a rendezvous that would forever alter destiny. An innocuous moment, an exchange of commonplace courtesies, seemed irrelevant in the larger scheme of things. A friendly nod, a harmless greeting, a casual conversation, all components of his elaborate deception. His unsuspecting prey, lured into his web of deceit, unwittingly moved closer to her impending doom. Their casual chat would be their last, a stark testament to the of life. As the world transitioned from day to night, an eerie transformation took place. The lively bird song was replaced by the uncanny silence of the night. The once lively streets lay abandoned, the unsettling quiet disturbed only by the whispering leaves and the distant barking of dogs. The vibrant light of the day surrendered to the menacing darkness of the night. The unsuspecting world stood on the precipice of the event. In the ungodly hours of the night, a sinister act of savagery transpired under the guise of darkness. The affable stranger mutated into the dreadful creature he truly was, his monstrous nature exposed in all its terror. The hapless victim was now a woeful testament to the lurking malevolence, her life unfairly extinguished prematurely. And yet, despite the horrific act that shook humanity to its core, the identity of this monster remained shrouded. Shielded by the darkness, he disappeared into the obscurity of the night, leaving scarce proof of his existence. His identity was concealed by the night's enigma, a spectral figure lurking in the tormented lives of those left behind. In this eerie sequence of events, the notorious silent killer rose from the shadows. A terror without a name, a predator without a face, he slithered back into oblivion, leaving a trail of dread and uncertainty. The silent killer, as he was later labelled, had claimed his first victim. This horrific act was a precursor to a reign of terror, a vile era that would forever be imprinted in the annals of history. Let's catapult ourselves into the year of 1996, a seemingly average night that would forever etch itself into the psyche of those residing in a serene suburban neighborhood. The calm of the evening was violently ruptured, akin to an invisible demonic force that punched the very soul of this quaint community of pristine white picket fences and meticulously manicured lawns. As the last glimmers of the setting sun were being devoured by the approaching night, a monstrous terror began to unfold, lurking beyond the boundaries of anyone's worst nightmares. Let's just hover for a while and dissect this unassuming neighborhood before the impending cataclysm. A place where familiar faces were the norm, where the innocent laughter of children echoed till the dusk, where the enticing aroma of freshly baked pies drifted through the windows and homes, pulsated with the warm hues of laughter and love. a picturesque setting, uncannily mirroring the deceptive serenity often portrayed in the feel-good family sitcoms of that era. Yet as twilight draped its darkness, a malevolent shadow began to stealthily slither over this tranquil community. The houses, once bathed in the cosy luminescence of evening lamps, were now gobbled up by the encroaching blackness. The usual symphony of laughter and chatter was replaced by a chilling silence, punctuated only by the ominous hoot of a distant owl or the eerie rustling of leaves brushed by an icy wind. A menacing tension began to tighten its grip, morphing the once vibrant community into a spectral battlefield. And then the unthinkable, the abhorrent, occurred. A diabolical mass slaughter, an event so grisly it would make even the most sadistic horror movie look like a lullaby. Each moment more blood-curdling than the one before, each grotesque detail forever tattooed into the minds of the ones unfortunate enough to bear witness. The community that once flourished on shared smiles and amicable gestures was now crippled by terror, a collective gasp reverberating through the abandoned streets. The once secure sanctuary of familiar faces now felt like a chilling labyrinth of dread and despair. A sense of disbelief hung heavily in the air, as residents struggled to comprehend the malevolent hand fate had dealt them. The news of this unspeakable act sent tremors through the globe, leaving the world teetering on the edge of a horrific reality, unable to fathom the true depth of this living nightmare. The sheer ferocity of the event left a grotesque scar on the collective psyche of humanity, a grim testament of the evil that lurks hidden in the darkest corners of society. This gruesome incident, forever engraved as the Midnight Massacre, a name that encapsulated the bone-chilling aura of that dreadful night. It was a name that would freeze the blood of anyone who heard it, a moniker that would forever be entwined with the night this peaceful community was ripped to shreds. This infamous Midnight Massacre, as it was christened, sent seismic shockwaves around the world, irrevocably altering the lives of those involved in a way no one could ever recover from. Our final tale descends us into the chilling shadows of the year 2005, a year that would spawn unspeakable horror on a small, unsuspecting town. Our tale's ominous birth hails from this foreboding year, a year unparalleled, destined to stain the annals of history with its brutal imprint. This year, however, would etch its name in the annals of infamy for the grotesque events that atrociously unravelled in the depth of a placid, unassuming town. A town that, until then, had been blissfully left unmarred by the sinister claws of terror. The calm of this town was abruptly ruptured, consumed by a blood-curdling wave of horror and panic. The biting winds of that grim winter seemed to foreshadow the malevolent tale about to be unfurled. They murmured tales of a looming, ominous spectre, ready to spread its menacing darkness over the town. The winds bore an unsettling chill, a cold that appeared to infiltrate the town's very soul, sending icy shivers rippling down the spines of its denizens. Whispers of a cryptic murder started to infiltrate the air, tales of a ghostly killer that seemed invincible. The murmur of the townsfolk escalated into a manic babble as the spectral murderer remained untouchably elusive. This faceless terror was always a step ahead, ever present in the shadows, poised to strike with deadly precision. The town's tranquility shattered like shards of glass, all harmony replaced by an unbearable of dread. The silence wasn't merely chilling, it reverberated with agonizing questions that would forever reverberate unanswered. The townsfolk were trapped in a vortex of fear and bewilderment, the eerie silence amplifying the enigmas wrapping the spectral killer. Who was this faceless tormentor? This question was an unending nightmare in the minds of the townsfolk, igniting waves of terror that crashed through the town. The phantom killer was a riddle, a formless figure who, despite the relentless pursuits of the town's police force, managed to remain elusive. Why this town? This question seemed to pierce the soul of the townsfolk. Why had their serene sanctuary been chosen as the battlefield for such a heinous, torturous game? Why had their tranquility been shattered by such a monstrous series of events? Why these victims? This was perhaps the most disturbing question of all. The victims bore no apparent connection, no identifiable thread that tied them to the spectral murderer. They were mere bystanders entrapped in a nightmarish web of violence and terror, their tragic fates a brutal testament to the lurking dangers concealed within the shadows of their seemingly ordinary lives. As the year crawled to a bitter end, the town was consumed by a debilitating sense of dread. The horror that had uncoiled with the advent of the new year had left a permanent scar on the town, its sinister repercussions echoing long after the year had begrudgingly passed. This case stands as a ghastly warning of the unseen horrors dwelling in the corners of our everyday lives. The tale of the Phantom Killer is a bone-chilling testament to the darkness lurking beneath our ordinary existence. It's a tale that reverberates with us all, a frightful cautionary tale of the ominous dangers that lie dormant within our own communities. These chilling tales of real-life killing events are more than just stories. They are stark reminders of the unsettling reality of murder, the gruesome deeds of the silent killer, the terror unleashed during the Midnight Massacre, and the unseen horror lurking in our midst. These narratives serve as a stark recall of the dread and tragedy that can unfold in our world. As we journey through the hair-raising world of real-life murder, remember, these horrors are unfortunately a part of our reality. That's it for today's chilling voyage into real-life killing events. We've journeyed through the unsettling reality of murder, the gruesome deeds of the silent killer, the terror of the Midnight Massacre, and the haunting presence of the unseen horrors. If these narratives have gripped you, if this journey into the dark side of reality has intrigued you, then we implore you to join us for more. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your engagement fuels our exploration into these chilling narratives. Stay safe, and remember, reality is often scarier than fiction.